Hello, everyone. As your last student speaker of the day, I want to start us off with a story. When I was younger and I was in Chinese school, they hosted a poem speaking competition. Basically, they're going to give you a poem, and you have to memorize it, and then you're going to get on stage and give this big speech. I practiced this so much. I remember I was in the car with my parents, and I was so confident in my ability to give this speech. When I finally got up on the stage, I looked out, and all the parents, classmates, my friends that had come to watch me, and I simply cried. But that was a long time ago. When I first heard about this opportunity to give a TEDx speech, I initially didn't really want to do it. I thought to myself, I'm comfortable as I am. I don't need to be going out there and going the extra mile for this. And I don't even know what I would talk about. So it's really ironic because I'm here right now talking about exactly that. An article written in the London Sunday Times stated that more Americans fear public speaking than death. So if this is the case, why is it true that public speaking is a necessary skill for social, academic, and corporate success? I want to dive into that. My name is Kirsten Lee. I'm a grade 12 student here at TEDxEric Hamber, and I'm overjoyed that you could be joining me for this journey today. So let's start off with fear. What is fear? According to the Oxford Learner's Dictionary, fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by threat of danger, pain, or harm. But the fears which we face every day have really changed, and instead of fighting for survival and running from bears, we're fighting for popularity and running from judgment. There are two fears I see with public speaking, and an extra point I want to talk about that really add to the daunting task that it is. So let's start off with judgment. We're making judgments all the time, and a lot of the time without even realizing it. Anywhere you go every day, we're walking down the street. I'm walking, and I see someone, wow, her shoes are really nice. And then I'm walking the other way, and I'm thinking, wow, his sunglasses are really cool. I am making judgments, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is negative. We've grown up in a society where we believe that this phrase, making a judgment, this means a negative thing, but that is very untrue. We need to have a flip in this perspective if we want to master the skill of public speaking. So something we can do to do this task is remembering that the audience is not your enemy, they aren't your critics, but they are your listeners. The audience is here to learn from you, to listen to you, and to hear what you have to say. So knowing this, the curtain of self-doubt and fear can be lifted from your eyes, and this is crucial when public speaking. This leads me to my second point, the fear of the unknown. This was talked about quite a bit in the other topics because it's very true. And the oldest written reference to this fear is by H.P. Lovecraft in 1927. He says, "The oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is the unknown." You see, unlike judgment, fear has been engineered into us since the beginning. What are some other fears that people have? A lot of people fear snakes. A lot of people really don't like bugs or insects, maybe death, as we talked about earlier as well. But a common thread between all of these is that they require association. They require learning and experience, but not the unknown. The unknown is natural. So I'm going to use one of my favorite quotes to help you realize what I think we can do to beat this fear. "Get comfortable with being uncomfortable." This is a quote by Peter McWilliams, and you probably have heard it. It's used a lot with Navy SEALs in training, police officers, even my friends that are cadets say that they use this quote as well. And it highlights a method called exposure therapy. A lot of psychologists use this to treat patients with really bad phobias and mental blocks. And the way it works is by slowly introducing the patient to situations which they fear. So this is my first time giving this speech, but let's say I gave this speech tomorrow and the day after that, until a month from now, so end of May. Every day that I stand right here and give this exact speech, I will become more comfortable with the information I'm sharing. Every mistake and slip up I make, I will learn how to fix them. I will adapt. This is the beauty of getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because the more you are introduced to situations that are unknown to you, the better your brain gets at handling them. And now there's one more point I want to talk about today. Does anyone know the difference between excitement and nervousness? The difference is expectation. When I was younger and I was still in elementary school, I used to hear a lot of kids say this. You probably said this. I know I said this as well. I'm going to pretend like I already lost so that if I do lose, it's not so embarrassing. If I knew back then what I know now, I would have asked myself, why are you choosing to put that effort towards failure? Instead, put that effort towards preparation for success. I'm going to give you two different scenarios, and you're going to have the power to vote between them. Okay, let me set the scene. Right before I gave my TEDx speech, I'm behind that stage, and there's a curtain, right here, okay? And I'm back here. This is scenario A, okay? Standing here. Oh my God, I worked so hard on this speech. Oh no, I can't remember anything. What if my hair is messy? What if my breath smells bad? Oh no, it's my time to talk, okay? Hi, everyone. Okay, cut. Scenario B. I'm back behind stage. I worked so hard on this speech. I know exactly what I'm going to say, and I know exactly when I'm going to say it. Oh, would you look at that? It's my time to go. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad that you could join me today. Now, this is your time to vote. Raise your hand if you think scenario A would give a better presentation. Yeah, I'm not seeing any hands there, okay. Raise your hand if you think scenario B would give a better presentation. Basically every single hand in this room went up. And that proves my point about how what you expect of yourself can change the outcome of your presentation. Now, after my acting, you may be wondering, Kirsten, why do I need to know this? I touched on earlier in the speech that public speaking is a necessary tool for social, academic, and corporate success. And according to Annalyn C. Espano, confidence is not just a personality trait, but a professional necessity that allows leaders to communicate ideas persuasively and with authority. This quote highlights how important it is to build trust within your audience and how it can flip the outcome of a presentation, let alone your life. So, let's go over what I talked about today. I mentioned 3 major roadblocks with 3 separate solutions to each. There was roadblock 1, the fear of judgment. And how to solve this one was to remember that the audience is here as a support. They can be your pillar for guidance, to remember what you're doing this for. Roadblock 2 was the fear of the unknown. And for this one, I used one of my favorite quotes, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And last but not least, roadblock 3 was Roadblock 3 was your expectations of yourself. And for this, I talked about how important highly speaking of yourself is and how your body really recognizes what you say to yourself. I mentioned how at the beginning of the speech, I didn't really want to be here talking today. I didn't feel comfortable giving you the power to judge me or berate me however you wanted. And you may think that the best speakers have no fear at all and they're not scared of being out here, but the truth is that they probably just remembered that the audience is here to listen to them. They probably remembered that they've practiced enough where they can fix any mistake that they make, and they've probably remembered that they are confident enough in their ability to do their best. And I was confident enough to do my best, and I did it. So next time you go to give a speech, remember these 3 topics I talked about today. And maybe you'll realize that public speaking stops feeling like death and starts feeling like an opportunity. Thank you.